Over the last 3 years, I've experimented with countless styles, outfits, and pieces. Today, I'm using everything I've learned to put together a list of 5 tips so that by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to take your outfits to the next level. My final tip may be a little bit controversial, but that being said, we are going to get straight into the first tip. The first tip, which is most important for students, but applies to people in all stages of life, is to improve your bag. Obviously, if you're in university or college or any kind of school, you'll be adding a bag to every outfit. So that's why you need something that's going to either meet the standards of the look or improve it. You definitely don't want something that's going to ruin the overall silhouette of the outfit that you worked so hard to come up with. You could have the perfect outfit, and something just as little as adding a backpack over your shoulders can bring the value down in an instant. And that's why picking something that's going to match your outfits is key to looking good. Now, by no means am I saying buy a different bag for each of your different looks. As nice as that'd be, that just isn't really realistic. Instead, try and find something that fits with your general look. For me, I like to wear more smarter, minimal pieces, so this black leather tote bag is something that I can easily incorporate into those outfits without it taking anything away from them. The second tip I have for you is to dress comfortably. Now, I just want to make it clear that I am not saying go out in your pajamas every day, but I am talking about comfortable in the physical sense and the mental sense as well. A big factor in whether you are comfortable is first of all the weather, and second of all the occasion. Something that's become part of my routine, and also something that I'd highly recommend, is just checking the weather every single day. That way you'll never end up too warm and sweaty, but you also won't freeze as well. And I think it's fairly self-explanatory to say that dressing for the occasion is important as well. Don't wear clothes that you know are going to make you uncomfortable just because they look nice. And finally, just make sure you feel confident about what you're wearing. You shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable just because you feel like you have to conform to certain standards. And that brings me to my next point, which is don't buy into every fashion trend. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of fashion trends that can have a positive influence on your outfits. So I guess what I'm really saying is if you don't like something, don't buy it. Just because it's deemed fashionable by a certain group of people doesn't mean that you necessarily need it. For example, shoes such as the Clarks Wallabies are pretty trendy right now, and these are something I don't think you would ever see me wearing. A more recent one is the Timberland boots. These are slightly more reasonable, but the only thing I can see you pairing these up with is a high-vis vest and a hard hat. That being said, I get a lot of my outfit inspiration from scrolling Pinterest, and there's a ton of different fashion trends on there for you to see. It's all about preference and understanding what you like and don't like. These next couple of tips are definitely the most important ones on the list. The first of which is to upgrade your shoes. This is definitely one of the first steps you want to be taking in order to improve your style. Moving away from things like Jordans and Dunks and replacing them with more minimal, luxurious shoes is going to take your outfits to the next level. And the good thing about this is, it's not going to cost you a lot of money. In fact, if you start soon enough, it might actually save you money. I was someone who was into collecting these kinds of shoes, and I know firsthand how expensive it can be. In contrast, most of the shoes that I have now, I was able to find for under or around $100. And I am going to have a video coming out soon that's going to show you some of those best shoes under $100. So stay on the lookout for that one. Moving on to the final tip, we have stop buying cheap clothes. And when I say cheap clothes, I'm talking about fast fashion brands like Boohoo and Shein, and maybe a little bit controversially, thrift shopping as well. I think if you're going to go for that clean, luxurious look that most fashion YouTubers are promoting at the moment, then you're definitely better off buying slightly more pricey, higher quality pieces. That way you know they're going to look better, last longer, and most importantly, maintain their shape. A lot of the items you can find in thrift shops or second-hand shops are incredibly beat up and worn out, and they're just not going to give you that same silhouette. But that doesn't mean you have to spend a ton of money. There are plenty of affordable brands out there with a massive variety of pieces available, so it's definitely worth taking some time to go and check them out.